Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. So we just got the KORDAN skill trailer, which I'm hyped to go through. This is the final hero we're going to be having on Raid Up Banner before the end of the season. So let's go ahead and get into it.
The Wildborn will endure!
To KORDAN, strength is everything. The only thing that ever counts. I never looked for friendship with him. That said, he was a capable leader. His courage is undeniable. Same goes for his resolve to keep anything from reaching the Wildborn. When the enemy shows up, KORDAN's always the first.
Specialization in Dream Realm and Supreme Arena. Okay, honestly, I was expecting him to be a purely PvP hero. We're gonna take a look at his skill kit, if there's any potential for Dream Realm. That is interesting. And his synergies here are gonna be with other melee heroes like Perseus, Pheromore, Zandrock, and Mikola.
One there, ripping straight through their line like it's nothing. That steady pressure he brings, it's probably why Wildborn tribes are still standing. As our lead warrior, KORDAN fights head-on. No tricks, just force. When he casts his ultimate, he challenges enemies.
Whoa, it knocked back the enemies who are ranged outside of his sort of hexagon, his battle hexagon. It kept the melee heroes within it.
In front of him, striking such terror into them that they're briefly immobilized. At the same time, KORDAN creates a hunting circle around himself and his target, radiating an aura so oppressive it knocks back any other ranged enemies out of the circle. Once the hunting circle is drawn, all units within take reduced damage and healing from any outside sources. Inside it, allied units gain extra attack and life drain for as long as the zone remains active.
Okay, very interesting. So all range damage and even healing from outside of the circle is going to be reduced, right? That is going to make it more like a battlefield only of melee heroes for PvP specifically. And allies within the zone gain extra attack and life drain. So you're going to have an advantage while you're in the battle, like the circle. And KORDAN can keep only one active at a time. And this skill starts with high energy. Like if we look back to the beginning of this skill trailer, we see that he's basically entering the battle with what seems to be 1,000 pre-fill energy. Like he's just walking up with 1,000 energy. The enemies have no energy. And he just, if he can immediately cast this, that's also really strong, right? Yeah, I think that there's a lot of potential here. And you know, if this attack buff is enough, even it has Dream Realm potential. Like if you're using melee heroes and you're attack buffing them in Dream Realm, there is potential there.
This alone terrifies his foes and fires up his allies. The mark of a natural born leader. After a short windup, KORDAN sweeps his blade wide, cuts anything in range, and creates a shield for himself. When casting...
Okay, I mean, there's not really much to comment with about this skill. It's just some damage and then self-shielding for some survivability. Which, I mean, if the cooldown is low enough, that shielding could really help, especially when he's dueling enemies. And as for his skill tree...
When casting Sundering Strike, he leaps into the air and slams down with mighty force, damaging and knocking down enemies. It seems like KORDAN fights.
So with this skill, he has a knockdown on a single enemy target and some damage as well. There's some utility of that. Also helps him in dueling, right? Like knocking down enemies. He has a shield from the previous skill. So yeah.
Fights with nothing but brute strength. But there's a disciplined focus in every move he makes. That sheer fighting instinct only comes from surviving years of combat. After unlocking his exclusive skill, KORDAN's aggression spikes to a whole new level. The first time KORDAN assists or defeats an enemy within his hunting circle, he gains Blood Rage. Blood Rage permanently enhances Fury Slash and Sundering Strike. The enhanced Fury Slash hits harder, dealing extra damage with every hit. The enhancement to Sundering Strike allows it to knock the enemy into the air, increasing the duration of the knockdown and dealing more damage.
Okay, so he will gain an enhancement when he gets an assist or defeat within his battle circle. This is his exclusive skill. No, but one thing that I did pay attention to is if you look at it here, right before he gets the kill, he just has the attack and lifesteal buff, like we already know about his circle. But when he gets a kill on Salazar, he also gets defensive buffs. If we take a look here.
The first time KORDAN assists,
he got these physical and magical defensive buffs after he got a kill onto Salazar. And then also, now that first kill inside the hunting circle is going to give him the blood rage, and that's further enhancing Fury Slash and Sundering Strike. Fury Slash is going to deal more damage, extra damage basically based on the enemy's lost health, which is just higher damage multiplier. And then your Sundering Strike is going to have further longer duration crowd control because it knocks up and then knocks down and deals more damage. So that is going to be the enhancement to his exclusive skill, as you see over here.
increasing the duration of the knockdown and dealing more damage. Once his exclusive skills fully upgraded, every assist or defeat in the hunting circle permanently increases his physical and magic defense. Then he recovers health every second for a short duration.
So you also get some health recovery after getting an assist or defeat. Just all of these are basically just to allow him to duel more effectively. But it's interesting because his hunting circle doesn't seem to cost energy. Like, I mean, if you're looking at, like, when you're looking at it here and he's dueling people, he's at full energy throughout. The hunting circle is just permanently active. That is a value compared to like a hero like Faramore who needs to keep it up and running with some energy cost. And then the other thing is that like he benefits a lot from this hunting circle, reducing range damage by we don't know how much, reducing healing received from outside the circle, and then he has all this dueling capability within his circle. So his kit really synergizes well together.
Clash. What looks like a reckless charge is usually bait. He's waiting patiently for his enemies to...
Yeah, I mean, like, if you pair him with heroes like Mikola, who also can control the Honor Arena, you have Perseus, who can benefit from this hunting circle with those buffs that he's going to receive. There's a lot of value here. Like, KORDAN Perseus, really, KORDAN is also going to be an enabler for the melee meta. And I think also KORDAN could pair really well with Alna, who can, like, protect the KORDAN, you know?
Overcommit. Every slash, every leap, each one is KORDAN's answer to the changing tide of battle. His hunting circle is a crucial tool. He uses it to repeatedly disrupt the enemy formation and steadily tilt the fight in his favor. Most opponents only realize their mistake when KORDAN's blade is already falling. As soon as blades come out, he'll quickly drop his ultimate to plant the hunting circle and take...
Yeah, I think he has full energy. If you see it here, like in team synergy, right at the beginning of the match, right at the beginning of the battle.
As soon as blades come out, he'll quickly drop his ultimate to plant the hunting circle.
It's an instant ultimate, so there's value behind that.
And take charge the way only a real chieftain does. The hunting circle can split the enemy formation, forcing them into close combat and continuously weakening their strength.
And that is the other thing. It does push back the ranged targets, but it will keep the melee or heroes which are closer within the circle and, you know, disrupt the enemy team. And he's going to synergize really well with these other melee heroes, yeah, like Perseus, Faramore, Xandrock, Mikola, who can all group up in his circle and get the advantage of the attack and life dream buff. We don't know the value of those buffs. And I think really if we talk about Dream Realm, because they did mention specialization in Dream Realm, but I think Dream Realm is going to be completely dependent on the value or the magnitude of his attack buff, because that's basically all he's providing for Dream Realm. Like, other than that, he doesn't have true damage, he doesn't have HP loss damage, so like, he's just basically a buffer, if you'd want to use him in Dream Realm, and really only for melee heroes.
Meanwhile, allies standing inside the circle get a stat buff that greatly empowers their combat strength. Then, without hesitation, KORDAN tears into the enemy in front of him with a brutal strike. Every assist or defeat he pulls off fuels his momentum, upgrading his skills and driving him to fight harder until the last enemy falls. KORDAN doesn't smile much, if ever, but the one time anyone saw it was the day his daughter was born. So no, he's not heartless, just forged hard. When the hunting goddess turned her back on us, something in KORDAN went cold. From that day on, he lived by one rule. The strong survive, the weak don't. No exceptions. I don't walk that road, but whether that rule will save the Wildborn or finish us That's for all Wildborn to decide.
Okay, so overall, KORDAN is coming just 1 week after Talia's banner, and only on the 15th of January. So, and he's going to be the final rate-up hero of this season. Now, overall, from this trailer, we do see that KORDAN probably has really good dueling power in PvP, enabling that sort of melee meta. And it will depend, if you can use him in Dream Realm or not, will really depend on the value of his attack buff. Because all I saw from this whole skill trailer, the only real usage you could ever see for him for Dream Realm is the attack buff he provides from his hunting circle. If that is high enough, potentially, if you have other melee damages in Dream Realm, it could be good. But when you look at Dream Realm, like for pre-endless bosses, it's basically Shmir and Nazarick or Ravion, you know, that type of comp, Rainier. Most heroes are not going to be ending up in that magic circle, but I guess you could have a position swap Shmira into the hunting circle of KORDAN and get the value for those buffs. So then there could be a potential there, you know, like if you're always using Rainier and pre-endless, putting the Shmira into the hunting circle of KORDAN, I can see the value there. If the attack buff is high enough. But it does have that limitation, right? And for endless Dream Realm, generally, like you have Gala, you have Aliceth, you have Mihira, they're all ranged heroes. They're not going to be within the hunting circle of KORDAN. So for endless Dream Realm, I think it's basically impossible until like a melee endless damage dealer is going to be really good. You might be thinking Baelran is a melee endless damage dealer, but the thing is Baelran scales on his health, not necessarily as much his attack. If we have like a hard hitting attack based HP loss damage deal for Dream Realm, which could happen in the future, a melee hero, then there is potential that it could synergize really well with KORDAN even for endless. But for right now, I'm thinking pre-endless, maybe having Rainier swap the Shmira into the hunting circle of KORDAN up front, and maybe some other melee heroes. Maybe there's potential there. We'll have to see about Dream Realm. But for PvP, I think he's looking really interesting. Really going to enable that melee meta, giving your basically your other melee heroes on your team a pretty big advantage. Like taking reduced damage from range sources outside of his hunting circle. That's really strong. And then also, you know, buffing them up. And then he also then will just have some other bit of utility, some knock-up, knockdowns, things like that. And if he gets a kill or assist, then he even gets defensive buffs as well and healing. So I think that he's a really interesting hero overall. Obviously, I would not say he's like a must pull or anything right now. And I think he probably is going to lean more towards PvP specialization rather than Dream Realm. Until we know for sure about Dream Realm, I wouldn't maybe make a choice about that. For Ravage Realm, he almost definitely will see some usage because like you're limited in Ravage Realm, especially the Dauntless Squad with Maulers. There are not really many good options to choose from. So I really do think we're going to see KORDAN in Ravage Realm, very likely. But apart from that, it's PvP. And the thing is, he has January 15th start. The good news is his banner should last long enough. If it's a 3-week banner, his banner should last long enough that we can actually see him in pre-endless of the next season of Dream Realm. And so for free-to-play or light spenders who are not like building it for PvP, I would probably wait until the beginning of the next season or even on VN server and see is KORDAN actually at all meta for Dream Realm, and then you can make a more educated decision about that area. But I think there's potential with him for a pre-endless Dream Realm. For endless Dream Realm right now, I don't think there's really much potential because it's mainly a ranged meta, and like he's not going to really benefit your range heroes at all. And I don't think his damage is anything great either, like no true damage, no HP loss damage. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts about KORDAN in the comment section down below. Are you hyped up for him? Are you planning to recruit him? Or is there anything else you want to mention that you think maybe I didn't cover in this video? Feel free to let us know in the comment section. That's always interesting to hear about. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. And if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you plan to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.